I'm sure you have noticed that we are co-locating, that we're co-organizing this conference with the Media4D conference. And there is a reason which I'm quite sure you're understanding. The focus of accessibility, assistive technology was very much on text, was very much on basic information, and nowadays we are moving towards a multimedia society. Media pop up everywhere when we are at home, when we are on the move, and therefore I think it's a very good approach to invite media and a conference like Media4D, that we cross-fertilize each other when these media developments go on, that they refer to accessibility and our accessibility work as well to the developments in the media field. I'm happy that I have the honor to introduce Hadmut Holken, the organizer of this Media4D conference, and I'm thankful that they agreed to co-locate with our ICCHP conference.
I like this cross-fertilizing approach, and I hope we will have a good future with that. I'm Hadmut Holken. I have a funny name, so just a quick word. I have a Danish father, a German mother with Dutch origins. I'm located in France, married to a Frenchman coming from one of the Mediterranean countries. And I have one of my daughters, 1/4 of them, she has just one idea in mind, that's to go to Spain. Well, it's the way it is, that's Europe, and we try to live with that. It's a kind of diversity. It's some part of the topics we are treating as well. And more seriously, Media4D is, I would say, a social innovation platform. We are not technologists as such. How Media4D is treating with accessibility and media. The idea is to integrate accessibility directly from the scratch into the production process, the content production process, which does not exist yet in the audiovisual field. We have subtitling, you have sign language, you have audio description, but the creators, the filmmakers, for instance, do not think at all how to integrate it directly into the production process. So how is Media4D born? I'm evolving in a community which is called NEM, exactly like the NEM we can eat, but it's not this. NEM stands for New European Media. It was before that Networked Electronic Media, and we changed the name to open it to content industries. It is a European technology platform. Lots of people are working on that. You have lots of European projects here. And so I saw what happens in the labs, in academic labs, in companies as well, in terms of accessibility. And I set the link with the content industries. And the NEM community always said, well, set the link to these communities. We need them for field trials, we need them for marketing, we need them for several approaches in our projects. And so I had a look on what I could find here in the Parisian environment, because we have lots of creators. I discussed, for instance, with Scott Hillier, who's filmmaker, and he drives the EQ Film Festival, the European Independent Film Festival. And I told him, well, would you like to go to the filmmakers and tell them that they can integrate accessibility? Couldn't we set up a kind of e-inclusion award, something like that, to foster accessibility? And we started in 2012 a first e-inclusion award. This is how we called it, which is not very professional yet, but it exists. And I went back to this technological community, this NEM platform, and told them, well, here is a festival starting a Friday night. Would you agree and come and tell to the people what happens in your labs? And they all said yes. So different researchers from different countries came along and told these creative people what happens. That was the first conference, Media4D. And we would like to get the whole value chain involved. This is why we opened, because it was a shock to have the research community on the one hand, the creators on the other hand. They don't speak the same language. So this is why we opened to equipment providers, to legislators, to user communities like the Age Platform Europe, like the European Disability Forum, and all those user associations involved. Yeah, and this is how was born Media4D. Now, the thing is that we noticed at this first conference that there's a huge need to communicate, because the players on one part of the value chain do not know at all what the others are doing, and this is why the discussion was very important. And we submitted a project within the French state, which was called the Grand Paris, the big Paris region, and we set up this think tank, and it's supported now by the French state. Media4D think tank, it's supported by the French state, by the region here, which is called Pleine Commune, and also by lots of other people. And one of the most important and the most active persons within this think tank is Mathieu Parmentier, who I would like to introduce. He is the keynote speaker for this morning. He's very, very active. He's from France Television. He is research engineer. He is not at all a computer freak, but he is in charge of accessibility, and he is really a driving force for accessibility for all medias, not just for television. Television has to rethink its business model today, and this business model needs to be, completely reinvented in any way. It needs to have a look on the other platforms, the other screens, especially mobile devices, for instance, and this is what he is also looking for. And so I think this afternoon we will talk a little bit more about all this, but he will tell us now how accessibility could drive the future of television. So if I may ask Mathieu to join us and to tell us everything about the future of television beyond accessibility. Thank you.